Angelo, Among Us, Annie, Blissful Julia, Realm of Solo, great to have you. How are you all doing? Let me know if my audio levels are all hunky-dory. Oscar, great to have you. Carolina, Zuyonok, my deepest apologies. How are we doing? Heart by Cam, great to have you. Ballohu Bale, welcome. Duncan, what's happening, my friend? Great to have you. Katarina, how you doing? Orkin, welcome back, everyone. So, today, what's happening today? Good question. What do you want to do? So at the moment, so you can probably see, we have this illustration, and I'm not sure why it's so laggy. Oh, because maybe I've got like crazy stabilizer on. I don't know, maybe I've got to change some stuff around. But yeah, so I've been playing around with this character, right? Messing around. I've changed the style completely, changed the story completely, which is a positive. G Noble, welcome. Adriana, great to have you. What are we working on today? I just wrote up an amazing session for my solo game, so excited to try it and draw something for it. Fantastic. Well, I hope your game has dinosaurs and a lady in it, because that's what we're going to be working on today. So, yeah, I was just playing around, really. It's sort of it's gone pretty far from the initial one that we've been doing the last couple of streams, but I like it-ish. And I wanted to play around with some, finishing up some of the line work, making it pop, maybe in a little bit more like, sort of like half-tony, comic booky, graphic novel-y kind of style. Then, hopefully, we can start playing around with maybe some even like, we'll do some like thumbnails to figure out the lighting scenario. I've got something in mind. I'm thinking I want to do like a half and half, like sunset over everything. So it's like, it's at dusk and yeah, just to sort of, I don't know, make it look cool. At the end of the day, that's all this is about, making shit look cool. Angelo Ronaldo, it's 1 a.m. Thanks for popping in though. Oh, you can't hear me. You cannot hear me. Well, that's bloody annoying, isn't it? Let us fix that. Quick smart. I mean, you can't even hear me now, can you? On Instagram, that is. Audio capture. All right, Instagram. Can you hear me? Please let me know. That would be lovely if you could. Or did I just freeze everywhere? Ah. What a schmozzle. Yeah, someone on Instagram let me know. YouTube, how are we sounding? Are we sounding okay? Hello? Is everything just shit itself? All good on YouTube? Okay. Oh, it's sounding Australian, mate. Yep, beautiful. Okay, so Instagram's just, it's on Instagram's end by the sound of it. Fuck. All right, I'm just gonna end the live. Oh yeah, as soon as I press that button, it goes back to normal. Kumar Habrella from Canada, how we doing? Yeah, Instagram. Could be the issue about the lag as well, who knows? No, feels like a critter thing. All right, my apologies. We'll get this up and running, I promise. I don't know what's been going on recently. It's a bloody nightmare. We're good now? Can you guys even see me? Because I can't see the preview on here. So I'm flying blind right now. So yeah, let us know on Instagram, but let's get something cracking. Hopefully this whole laggy business isn't on Photoshop. No, Photoshop is smooth as bloody silk. Critter's a great program. But anyway, where was I? This illustration. So yeah, gonna have a play around with that, but I want to warm up first because I have not been doing very much painting this week. I have been knocking out a lot of plain Janes and the bases. Got all the issues fixed, which is fantastic. So now it's just, yeah, fucking plowing through, knocking them out. I don't know if you can see them in the background here. So now it's just the production line. All right, Instagram, let me know, because I'm looking at a blank screen, but people are joining. I don't know what's going on. All right. Run with solo. Good to go? All right, Instagram, you are. Not the people of Instagram. The software of Instagram is lying to me. Okay. Because I see no picture. But all right, I'm gonna trust it. Let's let's fucking roll with it. Okay, so I want to keep with this theme of doing cars for warm-ups because it's just like a great way, like a fantastic way just to see planes and light and value and all that fun stuff, right? So let's whip a bit of reference on. Okay, so you guys on Instagram should see the reference. Everyone on YouTube in 2 momentos. You should see the full screen now. So it's just a great way to get started, you know. Now let's find a quick little, something graphic, like something that just, I don't know, there's just like something that speaks to me. Don't want to be sitting here all day looking for a piece of reference, but we'll get there. Ooh, hello. I like. See, I don't see with this. I don't see shininess. I see like little rectangles. I see a bunch of little rectangles which I can play with. We can like mess with some of the proportions. It may look good, it may not, okay? I warn you now. Thank you, Kumar. Appreciate you, my friend. Realm Solo. Oh, do we still do prompt challenges around these parts? I've been using RPG dice emulators and tables to generate ideas for writing. I think I ought to do the same for drawing. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, prompt generators. Like, yeah, I'll be down for that. I got a bit of shit in the comments though for using ChatGPT. Fuck. There's always something, hey? To get 3 words. Fuck me. Artistic Spartan. Hi Ben, how's it going? Currently revisiting Michael Hampton's book, going through Ahmen Aldoori's painting course. Fantastic. Okay, all right. Enough chat. You're not here to fucking listen to me blab on for a month of Sundays. Okay, so this was last week's. I really like this one. There's something cool about this. I might even take this a little bit further with like a character or something. I reckon that'd be pretty fun. But for now, focus time. I don't know what's been going on with the tech on my streams recently. It's not the computer. Well, obviously it is the computer. Or I don't know. Whose end it's on, I don't know. Most likely mine. All right, so starting off with a rectangle, let's get the, what's wrong with using ChatGPT? Don't get me started, Duncan. Don't get me started. As in, like, it was ridiculous. The outrage. I mean, it was just a comment. They've got a lot of other comments underneath it. All right, timer. Let's just do a little quick 15 minutes, right? Let's get it started. 15 minutes on the clock. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. And grab your coffees, I'll give you 20 seconds. And we'll get cracking with it. Romo Solo trying to go big, blocky, simple shapes is so much harder than I thought. Tell me about it. Tell me about it. And for this, I'm going to be using Filthy, the Photoshop plugin, which auto-fills the selections. Great, just to get the mind going. And then we'll see if we can get critter work, and then we work on our illustration. Might even do some thumbnails using the Filthy plugin, just to block in some shapes and color and that sort of stuff. All right. Let us begin in 3, 2, Travis, great to have you. 1, where's my timer? Bada bing, abadable. Okay. Now just whipping in a background. Now I want to go colorful here. That's like, I don't want to copy this necessarily. I just want to like punch the colors, you know? Now I am using layers just for, I don't know, ease of editing them in this early stage. All right, let's keep it pretty small to begin with for both me and for stream, for us not to get caught up in the details. I'm so glad that I got Plain Jane working, because now I can get back to a more regular, or more content that I want to put out, because that kind of really put the spanner in the works with it just not working the way that I wanted it to work, you know? And it was just a fucking nightmare. Pulled it out of the mold and it was just holes in it and all sorts. But we've changed the resin. We've updated the process. We got the bases cranking. I've also gone and bought a bunch of screen printing stuff as well. That's another frontier. So I do want to do some screen printing for the, what would you call it? The packaging, maybe even some different products in the future. But I've just been fucking flinging cash around here, there, and everywhere. It's stressing me out. But it's all an investment. And I just got to get used to spending to make quality products, you know. Because I could outsource all this shit, but it's not my style. I really want to have control over, at least in the very beginning stages of the process and the quality control of everything. For better or for worse, you know. So let's see. How can I make this shape cool? I mean, the shapes of this car are cool anyway, you know. I don't have a shape clear in my mind yet. I think we might just make it a bit wonky. Just a bit wonkier than it is. All right, and with this, I might scale it down just a smidge. I mean, I have seen people as well, they'll just do this. I'll just grab the warp tool and be like, I mean, it should fail miserably, who knows? But let's start getting in some of these darks, right? I've been looking at a lot of traditional stuff as well, and that seems to be a pattern that I'm seeing, is getting the darks in first, like the shadows, right? When I say darks, the shadows, the darker values. All right, this could be I'm just looking for, and I'm not looking at all the details yet either. I'm just looking to really, really simplify these shapes. Right, even, the beautiful thing. Shameless plug, I don't care. The filthy plugin. Now that we've got alpha locking available, so then I can do this within the shapes without going and creating a clipping mask and all that sort of stuff. It's a thing of beauty. Gotta thank Francis for that. He's an absolute technological wizard. Oh, Duncan, I just saw the comment there. Do I have thoughts on prints? I haven't talked to you in a little while. I'll show you after. After this session. Okay, so we got some of the darks in there. Now they're not the darkest darks in the world, right? But what we can do, I do want to ground this, pun fully intended, in the scene, right? So now it almost kind of looks like like one layer of a screen print. That's just very top of mind at the moment for, I don't want to save. What are you doing? Okay, so let's look at some of these colors. I want to punch the colors up. So I'm just going to magic wand this section here. All right. And let's just make this hold the fire. Yeah, let's mask this. Yep. So I can see there's a gradient. No, I want to draw. Oh, I'm drawing on the mask. See, this is the trouble sometimes with doing 2 minutes. That's what I'm after. Okay. So you see I'm drawing within this kind of layer, right? So this kind of color of the car. I'm trying to find that gradient that's naturally there in the reference. It's not the perfect color, it's not the correct color by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm really looking at the values as well as like the main focus. All right, so it's like darker on top because it's got all these reflections, right? And then it sort of lightens up as it gets to the bottom, kind of, in a way. So I'll squint my eyes, see if we've got a bit of that. Look, that's fine for now as like a base. Now I might want to come over the top. Let's add some of these darker darks. And then later on, maybe in the next round, I will whip in all the little detail, well not all the little details, but some of the little details. All right, it's kind of looking like a very weird car at the moment, but we will get there. We will change the silhouette. We will mess around with it. And as we get more zoomed in, the more we can kind of have a look at some of these smaller shapes. Now we've got to think about perspective as well. I'm keeping an eye on the perspective. Maybe make the lights quite large, maybe. They're on their own layer. Well, I'm going to put them on their own layer, so. What time have we got? 5 minutes, okay. Enough fluffing about. Bam, put them here. Got the light here, and that's going to be scooched over a little bit here, a little bit here. Okay. Now, looks jank at the moment. I know. Don't have to tell me that, I know. I want to zoom in one level. So I'm going to put in these darks of the headlights. It'll come together. I'm just going to tell myself that, and it will happen. Now I'm going to go back into this layer here. I'm going to add in a bit of that color variation. Oh, I've got a bit of differences here. Some of the warms up here. All right, so this is all underneath everything. So this is going to be obscured by a lot of this detail work with the reflections and that kind of stuff. So I might put a little bit of a preview of how the reflections are going to look quickly before we run out of the time. Shit, that was only 30 seconds. Okay, so let's take a look here. What do I do this just as one big shape and then mess around with it? That's what I'll do. So I'm just going to block in, not worrying about any of the particulars of the inner reflection shapes, right? I might even do just like a sweeping, like a large reflection shape here, and then come in and cut it out after. So I've got a bit of this going on here. And then I can like add the gradient and all that fun stuff momentarily. This is one of the things, like if any of you that are thinking about streaming, one of the biggest hurdles that I have, or had, or still have, is that stress of like, oh shit, it's got to look good. It's almost like if someone asked to look at your sketchbook halfway through a drawing, you're like, no, don't, it's not done yet. Don't bloody look at it, go away. Sometimes that's what I feel like. I just have to keep telling you, like, it's gonna look better, I promise. Why? No one really cares. If I'm perfect, like, in reality, really, no one cares. And it's a good little practice as well, just to get out of that mindset of like, oh, it's gotta look good all the time. It's quite freeing. Because yeah, I'm not liking the way this is looking at the moment, but what I can do now is maybe I get a little bit more curvy with some of the shapes. It's just like connect them a little bit, you know, get a little bit of the specular on some of these little bad boys. And underneath this, maybe just a little bit of that red. Whoa, what's going on here? Now I can cut into, I might just mask it to make it a little bit less destructive. And I might use the line tool to come through here. And then I'll go back to my other one. As you can see, some of these little lines here, so that gives it a little sort of sprinkling of reality with some of these reflections. And this is, I wouldn't say no different, but a lot of this thinking is the same with like characters, you know? Characters, cars, buildings, faces, eyeballs, reflections, all that sort of stuff. Very, very similar thought process. I like the roughness of this. I'm not hating it. Now what I might do is, what time have we got? 55 seconds, all right. Let's bump up the brightness of some of these. Bump up the saturation. I like the saturated highlights. Then what I can do is a little sneaky thing. Let's get a soft round brush. And let's give some subtleties within the shadow itself. Maybe. From afar it looks okay-ish, but we'll, in this next round, we'll clean up a lot of these shapes and have a play with some of the colors and all that sort of stuff, put the logo in and blah, 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 blah. Fix up, yeah, a lot of these shapes need fixing. But first round, 15 minutes, not terrible, not the best in the world. Fucking fun guns. The pun master. All right, stop, put them down. Whoop, oh, I've got this script that changes the view when the timer ends. Okay. Harley, great to have you. Travis, welcome. Desenorama, great to have you. Oh yeah, Duncan, check this out. If I scooch around here, if you can see this little black box, I'm printing my own things, baby. So that's like an art Grecke printer. So I've taken it into my own hands and I've started doing some prints. Some prints are going to be shipping with Plain Jane as well. I'm very happy with them. Let's turn off the auto tracking or else it will make people sick. Realm of Solar, what skill of the drawing process are you focusing on here? Or are there multiple things you're focusing on and trying to get right, so to speak? You mentioned singular focus in practice. Yeah, so this is just shape, right? No line. I'm thinking about, I guess it's hard to say, like I'm not thinking about one singular thing, right? But at any one given time, like for example with the highlights here, I'm just thinking about the overall light shapes. And then I'm like, okay, within the light shapes, how can I cut them in to make them more realistic, to like form to the body of the car? Then I'm like, okay, what gradients are there? So it's kind of like stages that I think. Dazzling, you're late. How dare you? Everything looks better with more on the page, even if it's wonky. True. Young word. At first, I used to be like, what the hell is this guy doing? You and me both. But you have such a unique drawing process. I've learned to trust the process. Your art is great. Thank you so much, young word. Great to have you back. So just catching up with chat for another couple of minutes, then we'll go round 2. Dazzling, ever just hate a drawing after you finish it, then the next day it's fine? I'm the opposite. I'll like love a drawing, I'll go to sleep, I'll wake up, I'll come and look at it, and I'll be like, this is the biggest piece of shit I've ever done. What happened overnight? So that's it. That's not a bad thing to have, Dazzling. That's great. Thumb guns, yeah, go reverse your robbery. Ballohu, babe, any tips for thinking about / practicing effective shape design? I often find in my process I'm slaving for hours to get good 2D shapes that also describe form changes. I would think about doing smaller tests instead of necessarily doing like an illustration, a drawing. It's got to be the one. I'm going to start doing this in like everything, right? There was a fantastic video that I'm going to be posting and sharing in my newsletter. Links in the description. That talked about prototyping. I've actually got, I'm not bullshitting, like these like post-it notes. And it was from Ryan Oatley's De-Stress the Creative Process YouTube video. Highly recommend it, right? So he's talking about prototyping. And when you think prototyping, it almost evokes, at least in me, like a industrial design, like little prototypes, like plastic, but like prototype everything. Like moving forward, even with YouTube videos, I'm thinking about prototyping the YouTube video and just doing a shit version first, get it all done in like the scrappiest draft version, the prototype version, and then iterating, because then you've got something to iterate on. Just like with an illustration, just like I want to do with the dinosaur lady running away, I want to prototype a few thumbnails, de-stress the process, really quick iteration. That's something I've been thinking about recently. Duncan, I'm thinking about doing some prints, but it will have to be print on demand, but good that you can do it all yourself. Yeah, good and bad. Rachel, great to have you. Because then, like, it's my time. I've got to manage that. So there's definitely trade-offs to it. Scruffsy, welcome back, my friend. Jartis831, yep. Blissful, crazy. Ink Scrub, how am I getting alpha with Filthy? There is an update if you haven't got it yet. Just pressing this little button here on Photoshop. It's like a checkerboard in the layers panel. All right, enough talking. Ink Scrub, thank you. I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well as well. How many times do I want to say well? The video that you're speaking of is amazing, especially that clip with the alien made from plastic bags. That really hit home. Yeah, that's fantastic. All right, let's get it going. Refresh the 15 minutes. we're going to be looking at shapes. And this is kind of the point where I'm going to zoom in a smidge. All right, I'm going to darken the darks, maybe add splashes of color in the darks, because that's, I'm going to stop talking. I keep talking, let's just go for it. All right, 3, 2, 1. Instead of talking about doing the thing, let's do the thing. Okay, so in these darker darks, let's have a look. Now, I'm still not looking at getting the perfect shapes. I like the quality of it not being perfect, right? Not quote unquote perfect, nothing's ever perfect. Right, so that really sunk that in. Now we got that tire. Scruffsy, have you gotten into any new shows and movies recently? Actually, it's very rare that I do. Griselda on Netflix. That was good. I finished that the other night. I do love me a good Narcos-esque sort of show. Griselda Blanco. Okay. It is about Griselda Blanco, who was like a drug kingpin in Miami in the 70s, I think. But it's like from a female's perspective, like she had to contend with all that. I mean, I'm not saying it's good what she did by any stretch of the imagination, but it was just interesting the dynamics that she had to go through with being a female in a very male-dominated industry, I guess you'd call it. But it's so messed up. So messed up. Just that the whole thing. But it kept my attention. It was really, really good. All right, let's add some pops of stuff. So it's very cool at the moment. So I'm going to experiment with like cool as in colorway. In some of these darks, I might just add just a little bit of like shabam. Pow. Wow. Shing. Why? Couldn't tell you. I know, or I've found, that I've got a bit more leeway with how crazy I can go with some of these poppy colors in the darks versus the lights. The lights, I've got to be a little bit more restrained, at least with my skill level at the moment. So let's wrap that around there. Now, do I do the unthinkable? And merge it all down? Yes, I do. Oh, I merged the greenery with it. That's fine. All right, this is annoying me. I'm just going to add in the Mercedes little triangle bits. There. And the negative, no. Ah, it's still on delete, that's what. Okay, so now let's think about some of these. I think they're called panel lines or cut lines. I'm not entirely sure of how. I mean, that looks like the bonnet's lifted up, so we've got to. That's one thing I do miss about Filthy with in other programs, is you can kind of like draw with it. It's wonky as, but let's use that to our advantage. This song sounds like a stock ad. Okay. Okay, let's. Bam, 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 shabang. Let's do something with these lights. I might even just block them in like that. Looks wrong, I know, it looks very, very not right. But what I can do is I'll just like alpha them. Add some of this pattern in there. Right, trust. Then I'm going to come in with the line tool just to get this little pattern. What am I looking to do? Yes, that. And let's get the line weight down very, very small. Right, okay. Oh, yeah. Lines. So it gives it that kind of headlight kind of vibe. Maybe-ish. I actually thought it would look cooler, if I'm honest. That's okay. Let's punch some of these. Let's just merge it all down. Excuse me. Why is this not merging? Okay, that's why. Let's cut this shape. I really like a bit of Art Deco, and this kind of graphic sort of stuff gives me that vibe. I don't know if you've ever seen some of those like Monaco, like old, was it like 60s or 50s or something, like the posters? It's giving me that kind of vibe, which I'm quite fond of. Now let's think about these rims. We've got a whole big chunk missing here, which this is going to ground it even more in reality. Quite literally, because it's the tires. Oh no, don't flip it. Don't flip it. We have no time to see all of our mistakes. Let's go the multiply layer. What do I want to, let's do a quick cut. Shadow. No. What do we got? What do we got? 5. 10 minutes went like that. Let's get this out of here. Let's get some of these. There's some of this under here. It's like a cheeky little shadow underneath. See, it's like too light. That's what I'm trying to go for. Or do I just keep it to shapes? I think keep it to shapes. That's going to make it fit in a little bit more. So this whole shape underneath here should be a little bit darker, potentially. Now this here, let's add in some of these. Now the cool thing is you could like just leave it here, or we could get right into the nitty-gritty details and just go absolutely ham with everything, which I'm not going to do. What I am going to do is add a little bit of this shadow underneath all of these headlights, this occlusion shadow. Right, so now they look like they're sitting on the car versus them just being plopped on top. Now let's punch some of these lights. Yeah, this whole, not a fan of that whole side of the car. So just, the perspective is off here. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. I don't think I'm going to have time to fix any of that in any meaningful way. What I can do is add in some of this purple to show the see-throughness of the windshield, and some of this Fresnel, the Fresnel effect on the edge of the car here. The Fresnel. Now, some of these to show that there are dips and valleys and all that fun stuff. We got some of these cool sort of like squiggly bits I'm seeing in the light, in the highlights. Now if we zoom out, it doesn't look terrible. If we zoom in, different story. But that's okay. This is our warm-up. Just a slight little bit of that color pop underneath here. Let's do a little bit more texture work, I think. What have we got? 22 seconds. All right, a little bit of texture work on the on the ground. Yeah. All right, 10 seconds. Let's lighten this up just a tad, warm it up. I did want to do a little bit on the leaves. So I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I'm gonna go over time, ever so slightly. These need to be more poppy saturation wise. Just like bam, 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 shabam, bam. And then if we do a little trick, we do a sneaky little, this thing, where is it? There. Paste it there, the same one here, then we do a little filter, then we go blur, and we just do a quick little Gaussian. Just a little bit of something there. Oh, maybe a bit more. All right, above the saturation. All right, so it gives it that illusion. Now, do I love this? Absolutely not. Do I like it? It's not terrible, not terrible. How'd we all go? Let's check in with chat. Blissful, does anyone else think the car looks shocked, or is it just me? That's what I like about cars is like, I'm not a car guy, but I like the look of them, if that makes sense. Like, I've got no idea about the engines or any of that shit. But like, yeah, you say it looks shocked, you could almost do a character. Maybe that's something we could do. That's not a terrible idea that I haven't told you yet. The like doing a character that like matches the car. So it's like, that is the expression of this car. It's like, ah. It's not Christmas. So that's kind of the character. That could be a cool little challenge, actually. I like that. Yep, that's a cool idea. I like it. Dazzling, you have to embrace the wonky. Or embrace the wonk because someone like might like the wonkiness. You're 100% correct. Gotta embrace the wonkiness. Yeah, I haven't read a book in a while, Scruffy. Orc and Need for Speed, but Eblin edition coming soon. You know it. Debbie Animations, hey Ben, just made it. Welcome, Debbie. Bought the Filthy plugin last week and I'm getting a pop-up with each selection. Is this normal? If you're in 2024 and if it's the contextual taskbar, I just turn that off because that will come up after every one, this kind of thing, right? You select and that comes up, that comes up, that comes up. I just turn that off when I'm using Filthy because it's just an update that Photoshop did. Rachel, look at you go. Knife Party. Oh, I've got to check that out. Maybe with the shades like resting on his forehead or something, like he's got like glasses and that's the reflection in that kind of shape of the windshield. And he's got like little ears. Yeah, that's cool. Sam, what's happening, my friend? I like that idea. You could always try doing anthropomorphized car, like a Disney Cars-esque character for something different. I like it. All right. Bipunka, appreciate you. Okay, I really like this one. I want to do something with this one. But this one's cool as well. It's a little bit too close to the reference for my liking, but it is what it is. Let us do some character stuff. KS, Kevin, your art is so beautiful. You're an inspiration for me. Really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Do I ever grow out my hair? Only by laziness, not by any choice. I guess that's a choice as well, but no, I don't generally grow out my hair, which is something I do need a haircut soon. Okay, so Crit has decided to play ball now. What if we turn off the stabilizer? Is that? Yep. Excuse me. All right. So let's try, like we've done here, translating some of this thumbnail-esque kind of vibe onto here. Maybe we do some like, I think I've got a plan, kind of. Let's grab, whoa. Let's grab this whole group. Can I just copy and paste that into Photoshop? I can. Bloody beautiful, but it's a bit hard to see, isn't it? For some reason, yeah, it didn't translate very well. Or is that just, Yeah, there's something different about it via, so that's something to note if you're using Krita and Photoshop in tandem. But I just need this as a reference, right? Just as a little thing to throw off in the corner. And then I might duplicate my car studies because I like the vibe that they're giving me. I can't explain it. It's just something that I'm like, yeah, I like this kind of feel. So we're going to utilize them as our own inspiration for this sort of shapeliness. If only for the background of this, because I'm thinking about doing a full background with these characters. So what I might do is Mech Dinosaur. I was thinking about that. I was thinking about, because maybe this character is like the same character as my other mech character, like the mech one that I did, because he's got a similar sort of face. Like, I think that could be it. Maybe we add some mech elements. Could be cool. Like maybe instead of the bag, it's like the jetpack that she's ready to just be like, poof. Who knows? But what I'm thinking is doing some, like figuring out the background, like what do I want as a background here? So we're just going to do like a sort of weird process. Not a weird process, but like a, let's turn off that contextual task bar. It's helpful sometimes, but not all the time. So I'm going to, what did I say that I wanted? I wanted like sunset. I love sunset, I love golden hour, but I want it to kind of really cross past like her, like half of her and half of the dinosaur. That'd be sick. So, how are we gonna do that? Beats me, but we will try. So maybe we get some references up of sunsets. Sunset golden hour. And we can use this as a bit of a starting point. Yeah, this sort of vibe. Which could look good with some of the mech stuff as well, because that can reflect some of the environment. Clouds as well. Clouds, clouds, I'm not too great at them. Like, I get lost with them quite easily. Why, I don't know, but it's something that I want to get better at. But let's just start with the background. So it's still going to be like blue skies, right? So we'll just add a bit. Save. Where did I ever press save? All right. So just getting some of these colors in there to begin with. And as it gets closer to the horizon, it gets lighter. Maybe this is a little bit too shapy for the background. No, it's not. It's fine. Now clouds. So the clouds are going to be quite orange. I want to do them in a more like very stylistic way. So that could work. But I've seen, there's one guy that I follow on Instagram. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he's like a Western painter. And the clouds that he does is just like, holy frick, they're amazing. So that's something that I'd like to learn. Lucas, what's the concept making study in different software? As in, like, why am I doing it in different software? Just to test it out. Test out different brush engines, different features, that sort of stuff. But the beautiful thing is, oh my God, my voice keeps cracking. The beautiful thing is, all the same principles apply. The light, the shadow, the this, the that, the line work, all that fun stuff still applies. Maybe I do like mountainous, whatever's in the background. All right, maybe because it's like, there's like palm trees and whatever. Now we've got to think about the horizon. It's pretty low that we've got it here. And we've got to think about the light angle. So maybe the light's coming from the right-hand side. So just like we did with these mountains, so we're going back and we're learning from our references, our warm-up, sorry. So maybe we can come in here and actually add some of that light source on these mountains to show like direction. Maybe it's like quite Something like that, maybe, I don't know. Do I want a bunch of greenery? Do I not? I'm really not sure, but we'll get there. But this is a beautiful thing. This is that prototype stuff that I was talking about earlier. We're just testing out ideas. So if this is the case, so let's just add some of this. We can add some of what we did here, like the little bits and bobs of the ground plane. There's going to be a bunch of probably stuff in front of the mountains. Maybe this is just a big patch of dirt, like a dirt section that she's running to get away from. Not running to get away from the dirt, from the dinosaurs. Maybe I can have someone riding on the dinosaurs. Maybe, who knows? Right, so then if we imagine our characters, just adding the silhouette, let's say of, let's flip this so I've got a bit of a flip horizontal. So this isn't the most like exciting stuff, but it's going to help a ton. I like it. It's like figuring out a bunch of stuff. I'm just going to do it like in grey to begin with. So then we've got our bun here, arm coming back, leg running, foot hitting the ground. Now that looks terrible, but we're not looking for perfection. So just, yeah, this is very not good. But this is her running away. And then we've got old mate T-Rex in the background with the tail. Now the reason there's a reason for the tail sort of wrapping around, and with this illustration, everything's sort of coming back to her. So he's looking at her. The tail is sort of arcing back to her. This one in the background is looking at her. This sort of wraps back around like the body of this. So it's all sort of like circular in a way. So that's a bit of composition stuff I'm working on. But yeah. I like the idea actually of her being more on the mech side. So she's got a lot bigger. Now, we've got these two. Let's group them. Let's, what am I trying to do? So we want to indicate that like half and half sort of daylight, not daylight, that light source, that sort of sunset. Now all these colors are way off. So don't hold me to this. But it's like, okay, we can imagine kind of like a shadow shape of her being lit like that, and maybe his head and tail are going to be lit like that. How does that read? And then maybe we add a bit of shadow here to show that it's like that. Actually, maybe we cool this down a lot, because it's going to be mainly the light is going to be coming from the sun. Yes, the light's coming from the sun, but the sky. Oh, yep, my chat's back. It's scrolling. The background in the drawing with the red Jeep can be a reference. 1000% Orkin. How about a tomb like she just woke up, a dinosaur protecting the tomb? I like that as well, Blissful. Seem to fix it, Devi? Fantastic. Rachel, the strong. Ben, you're saying the landscape isn't that exciting, but landscapes are so relaxing. No, I meant like this process. Like we're not getting a finished image. We don't get to go into all the details and like get it all feeling just right. Not yet, anyway. Some people might think, I don't know. I like it. I don't do enough of this. I jump into stuff really, really quickly, which is a habit I've got to kind of break. So these clouds are going to have it, like the light hitting them from this side. Right, I think this should be more intense. So that kind of vibe, I'm feeling it. I don't know if I love it, but I don't hate it. And maybe we have some foreground elements. Whoa. Like, what are we thinking? Let's group all this into a group. And what I might do is I might vignette the background and the characters. So we've got the characters on their own. We got this background here. One like more of a line decker-esque. Let's duplicate this to show you what I mean. She needs to show that she's in the foreground more. So I'm just going to, hey, that's not what I want. So she's going to be here, so she's going to be larger to show that perspective. And what we can do, what I like to do every now and then, is like vignette, kind of like here. So they're kind of running outside the illustration in a way. And then if we make this so as we can show that this is like the edge of the paper. Maybe it's like a slightly different color. Like that kind of vibe, like a Lion Decker-esque Saturday Evening Post sort of deal. I like that. That kind of stands out. Something a bit different-ish. She's like here running out of the page. I'm also thinking about the post as well. How is this going to read? Unlike an Instagram sort of post, how would it read on a print as well? Yeah, I'm feeling that, but we'll do a couple more. We'll do a couple more. I'm going to just take a short break. What's the time? 11:48. Back in 5. All right. Looks like the start of a cool bookmark. I like that. Synth Lizard, my apologies. Goes to Procreate tutorial, definitely. But honestly, all the stuff I'm doing here, everything that I've done in my, like almost all of my streams, you can do in Procreate. Dazzling, you absolute legend. 10 points for you. Good looking out. Character poses. Synth Lizards, I'll get back to you after this very short intermission. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll be back. Holy shit. There's this music. What the hell? What is this? All right. Let's just catch up. Okay, Synth Lizard 8. Any tips or resources for someone struggling with a character reference sheet? Character poses are too stiff, but I want to convey personality. Take your own reference. Shoot photos of yourself in the poses that you think that the character would be in, and that helps me sort of feel out the pose itself. Like for her, like she's running, right? I can feel that, like maybe her arm isn't up here. Maybe her arm's like back here more because I've just gone and done that. And it's like, how would I run? You know? That tends to help me. The next, my apologies. You got use out of the website on the references or the resources. That's good. Start with a Komodo dragon and exaggerate the heck out of it. I do want to exaggerate the illustration more as well. Okay, sorry, just getting up to speed with le chat. Okay, I'm just going to go to the bottom of chat. If I've missed something, my apologies. You can ask it again if I've missed it. Just got to get cracking with this. Okay, so this is one of the ideas. I'm back. Get rid of that. Okay, so we imagine this is our page. Cool. I like it to feel Jurassic Parky, just a little bit. So maybe we focus on the background to begin with. Like this kind of deal here. Like I like this, where that's what I was going to do. Some foreground elements. Oh, no, just even use a pencil. Like some things even coming out of the corner of the screen. Maybe not. Brush. Like something like this. This is just ideas for me, right? Maybe he's going to be occluded by some of the bush. Who knows? But there's one idea, okay? Let's try another. Let's try another. This is one thing with Photoshop. Just let me move my stuff, please. That's all I ask. There, there, there. This is ridiculous. Let me move all of my stuff. Okay. Thank you. All right, so we've got one idea here. What's another one? Where could they be? Absolute scumbag. What are we doing here? I'm just got to do that, do I? Okay. Yeah, Duncan, I am too. I am too. I want to move a little bit away from that though. Dylan, how you doing? Hope you're well. All right, so let's get rid of this background and let's start again. I mean, I might even scratch the background altogether. But let's say maybe the perspective of the ground is more akin to like that. So it's actually, you can sort of see the stress, like it's a little off kilter. There's a name for it. I can't remember what that is. Ooh, Duncan. I like it. I like that idea. I really like that idea. Okay, so let's do like a city street even. Like city street. Like even this, right? We can, but then we have the, yo, this could have changed the whole game. Dutch angle, thank you. Underwater, a swimming dinosaur. That's very different. This is sick, okay? It could be terrible. But let's do another like little study of, because we can even do this. Dino urban post-apoco. So we just start throwing some shapes down. I like the layering of this as well, like all the different buildings. So I might just do shapes to begin with. That's like a nice little background. Even the perspective of this is pretty good. I'll tweak it. It just is like an idea. That's going to be all blocked in. I even like the idea of this like water thing. Even if you wanted a bit more simple, there could be, say, a hot dog cart, and she's perhaps holding a hot dog, and the rest of the background could be super simple. So many options, and so little time. But I like that as well. Underwater mall in ruins as dinosaur smashes through the shawarma restaurant in the middle while chasing a diver. Ah. Okay. So this is fun as well, just playing with some of these shapes of the buildings. Imagining. I like this. This gives me like 80s vibes. Oh, excuse me. Catch you later, Julia. Thanks for popping in. Certified cheesecake. What a name. Hey, just wanted to come in real quick and say hi. I love your use of lines and value, and you're a huge inspo for me as of late. Thank you so much. Thanks for popping in. Now there are two next to each other. They really read as prints. A great example of how to quickly prototype. Exactly. I could like, when I'm going to be producing prints, I want to think about what I would want on my wall. Because I think you could quite easily get caught up of like, okay, what would people want? It's like, yeah, you got to think a little bit about that. Like with anything content-wise, it's like, what would get me going? You know, like, oh, dude, this is so like sick. What would get that reaction from me? And that's like a good gauge as well. I think that goes like helps with like art block and all that sort of shit as well. Because then I'm like excited to make it. It's not like a chore to be like, okay, I got to get this print out. It's like, no, I get to put this print out. I wonder if there's a faster way to do this as well with the multiply layer. So I just put a bunch of these shapes, maybe a little bit desaturated. These more like, okay, there's a thing there, thing here, blah, blah, blah. And then I come in with the details with like multiply and all that sort of stuff. Could be an efficient way of going about it, potentially. There's also someone, iPad, please still have battery. Damn it. Who is he? There's this artist, I should have it in my photos. From a background perspective, like this is something that I want to, I just got to find his name and I'll throw it up on, because I've got it in my photos. What's his name? Seth Armstrong. So if we come here, Instagram, or maybe that will screw up the Instagram live. Unsure. Seth Armstrong. This gets me going. Like, look at that. Oh, I just went on one. Or is that just how his website is? Paintings. Like, come on. Look at that. If I can get this as part of like my style as well, like take a little bit of this, the illustration style, like this is absolutely beautiful stuff. Like this is what I want to head towards. like super saturated poppy colors, but it's like well balanced. It's not like you've just gone and like turn the saturation all the way up. It's just freaking beautiful. So this is a huge inspiration moving forward for me. And this kind of look in particular, can I drag this just to zoom in here? I'll just, like this lighting setup. This is what I meant, by half and half. So it's like that golden hour. You've got this, so there's just a big shadow being cast over these houses. And because there's a lot of white in there, there's like just beautiful like blues from the sky. But then you've got the super red oranges with the sunlight. If you turn this though, black and white, it still reads. It still reads really, really well. But it is quite low in contrast in some areas, which is interesting. So yeah, the contrast is done with color. Beautiful stuff. So that's the vibes. Looks like a puzzle, doesn't it? So yeah, that's if I can get that feeling, I'm not gonna go and like copy these. I'll study them, but if I can get that feeling with my work, like this with like this kind of style, that is what's gonna be like, hell yes. I will sink hours and hours and hours into it. Because you know when you're doing something that you really, really enjoy, right? And then I'll be like proud to put it up in my store. I'll be like, hell yeah. So let's come back to here just for a bit of our reference. But like I want to mix that with like a bit of like even anime comic book style as well. So yeah, I've got some art inspiration for sure. Now it's just putting it all together. And doing traditional, because that's oils, I believe, mostly. And even understanding color from like that traditional level. of like, okay, how does the chroma of this blah, blah, blah work and everything. So and that sunset kind of vibe could be really cool to come through these buildings and like cast a shadow on like the dinosaur and stuff. Yeah. I'm liking this buildings vibe. Lucas, have you tried Webby Paint? A lot of tools that would fit in your workflow. The fan tool is like your plugin, Webby Paint. Oh, is that done by Heavy Paint? I think I might have tried it, definitely. I'll give that a shot. I forgot about that. So now I'm just going to come in with like a multiply layer. Kind of reminds me of Lulu Sketches work. The next Lulu Sketches, I'm sure I've seen their work before. Oh, that was a happy accident. Okay, we can do that for like blocking the light sections, I think. Like do an overlay and then see how some of this feels. What would the subject matter of the prints be? That guy was just running with the same theme. Yeah, I don't know, to be perfectly honest. That's gonna just be a whole big experiment because I think this like selling physical products, right? again, it's got a prototype, and I think you can prototype from a product standpoint as well. There's going to be things that sell, there's going to be things that aren't going to sell. So I think the goal there is to do very limited print runs. Don't always have it available. That's something that I learned from a few mates that I've been talking to in the space, is limited print runs. And because I'm doing it myself, there is like a real limit to what I can put out. And then test, and then just test. Because you'll find, even with you doing your prints on imprint, you'll find things that pop. I mean, you could even photograph some of your murals as well and have those as prints themselves, not just the art itself. I think there's interesting ways to play around with prints and like, yeah, physical products. That's what I want to do, a lot of playing around. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I've got to give heavy paint a go again. So I'm just going to do a bunch of layers on this, so maybe ooh, I like that. I don't even know what I'd call that. But let's see, the light source. So I'm just going to remove bits and pieces from these buildings to show that the light's hitting them. So it gives that kind of illusion of light. Maybe it comes all the way down here. Shit just got intense. Whoa. No, invert it, that's what it's... Right, so from afar, you're like, yeah, that's daylight on those buildings. And we can play with a lot of like reflected light as well, because if the light source is coming from here, then that's going to bounce off of these buildings, like this building in particular, and that's going to bounce back onto some of these as well. Oh, it's going to take a while though. Duncan also have a limited time to purchase the prints. That seems to be a good way to get people to make the decision. Yeah, I think that's a good strategy for sure. It's like, yep, that's exactly right. Although that's what I'm thinking. Anyway, again, experiments. It's a completely new realm for me. Oof. I'm liking the vibe of this. Just as like a little thumbnail. And then let's just duplicate this and merge it so then I can just freely play. Are you aware of Jeremy Geddes, another Aussie artist from Melbourne? No, I'm not. I might be actually. I'm terrible with knowing like names. Jeremy Geddes. Let's have a look. Jeremy Geddes. Ah, yes, I know this. One of my mates has his prints, I think. Yes. Yep. This one in particular, actually. Yeah, one of my mates has it. Yep, I know exactly this artist. Yeah, and that's like a whole experiment of it, right? How long do you do them for? Like, there's going to be, and I've got a count for, what's the word? Like misprints as well. What do I do with them? So I want this light to be lower, like it has to make sense for it then to light her. So is there any light sort of, I wonder, what if the light, some of it is like shining through some of these buildings, which is then going to be able to reflect onto old mate T-Rex here. That could be cool. I might actually do it just like a smaller version. And overlay this. And then I might just play on hard mode and then try and bloody paint this traditionally. Because I know that's what like a lot of people do, is they'll actually do trial runs like in digital, just to see how it feels. So now I'm just going to get the outline of all this stuff. That's one thing I do like about Clip Studio, is there's a really cool function called a reference layer, where it kind of does all this for you. And it like fills in all the holes really, really quickly. Which is pretty sick. Jeez Louise, relax. I reckon I might just do these two, and because we've changed the background to the cityscape in this one, we might lose the background dinosaur. This doesn't have to be perfect either. Okay. Haha, I like it. We will have to change the perspective of stuff, definitely. And I'm just going to do that with, what am I doing? This is what I'm doing. I really don't like what the new Photoshop has done with like always having this there. If that makes it like the bounding box around everything. It's really bloody annoying because you don't know if you're in transform mode or not. So let's even like warp them just a smidge. That could be cool. Basically the horizon needs to be lower, I think. Let's do this and let's do this. Cut out the dinosaur. Let's put him behind the building. Maybe he's like larger. He could just be like hello. What does that look like? We'd have to play with the, no, it doesn't, I don't like that. I like him sort of like coming around the corner. Maybe she's like, oh shit. What bands do you like? Static X Orbit Culture and what's playing now? This is not my typical what I like to listen to. This is just like royalty free, like I pay for this like Epidemic Sound thing. I like anything from like Blink-182, Johnny Cash, NWA, like spans the gamut. All right, now I want to play. Rafita, thank you so much. Thanks for popping in. Duncan, the only reason I'm asking as a content creator, I could see you doing some 1000 style stuff, as in with your reach and fan base. He's a massive inspiration. Massive inspiration. I was chatting to someone that knows him, and yeah, inspired me a lot to go down that route because I want to build a studio, right? I've talked about this before. I want to get a studio going where I can do these sort of like sculpts, prints, courses, content, that kind of stuff. That's the direction I'm going in, which is exciting, but also stressful when I'm trying to do it all myself. So now that's kind of cool. So we can just whip some color on him. Has anyone seen Pumping Iron? This song reminds me a lot of that. Now we've got to decide what color is he? Kush 8. How to master basic shapes and forms without getting demotivated. Do it on a small scale, kind of like I'm doing now. Just little thumbnails, play around, practice. It's less stress and you can get something that you like faster, and then you sort of like, yeah, testing your assumptions as you go. Now I'm just whipping some color on him. Ballo Hugh Babe, weird question about hitting the gym. Can you talk on the best way to train as an artist? I strain easy, and I know it's down to posture, grip, and loading my fine motor muscles. Any tips from experience? I would just get that thing of like as an artist out of your head. It's just like training is just got to be a thing that, at least in my life, it's massive for me, right? The training that I like to do, and I'm not a personal trainer, so this is just me, I like doing strength training. I like like your strength training, 4 to 6 reps, 3 to 4 minute break in between. And you've got to find the thing that you enjoy. Because I would love to be able to just do like HIIT workouts and get like ultra lean and that kind of stuff and just do like cardio all the time. I hate that stuff. I really don't enjoy that. But I do like just like lifting heavy stuff and getting better at doing that. But and I notice like whenever I don't go, like it affects everything. Like my mood, my motivation, like everything. So it's like, it just, one of those things that has to be done. It's like a non-negotiable. Now let's add a screen. Like I just want to play around with light. I don't want to get too in depth with his color. But what I was thinking about with the light source here, good question though. I like talking about sort of like the stuff outside of art as well. Because it's all very important. Blissful Dinosaurs, like come back here, I just want to play it. That could be a cool little like swap to it, you know? It could also, there could be a shop awning in front of the dinosaur as he comes around the corner. Yep, I like that. So there's lots of little things we can play with now. It's like a city scene. And maybe these two become friends. You know, like she then like saves him from something, or I don't know. But the cool thing is now we understand the background, we can like add reflected light up here. So we could like come under here and like add, I love me some reflected light. Like all under here. There could be like a little bit of this, a little bit of that, you know. It's looking a bit jank at the moment, but it always does. Maybe we change his color to more of like a greeny. Why did that not change anything? Now, if we do it full green, he kind of looks like the dinosaur from Toy Story. So I gotta be careful with that. What am I trying to do here? Yeah, let's play around with the colors. So like if we go like that full like plastic green sort of thing, it doesn't quite do what I want it to. Or we could do like Barney purple. Oh, this is going to be so fun to like just noodle on. Dinosaur's name is Fluffy. Christian, what's happening, my friend? Duncan, no you're not. It's good, I like chatting. I like chatting and it keeps it interesting for me as well. Lucas, I do 3D sometimes. That could be cool, Lucas. Can the dinosaur be purple? We can name him Barney. You read my mind. What an original thought. Barney the dinosaur, hey? But what I was talking about as well with like the reflected light, because the light source is sort of coming down through here, we can what am I trying to say here? Here, like we can add some of this reflected light onto this side so he's not completely in shadow. And this is the best thing about like prototyping this stuff. If I was just working on the line work for like ever, I would have never picked up on any of this sort of stuff. Botti Rotti. Hey Ben, just curious, are there any art books, resources you recommend that help you learn light and color? Light and Color by, I can't remember who, but look up the book Light and Color. It's fantastic. Orkin, also How to Render by Scott Robertson, very good. If you paint the dinosaur red, we can sell it as a Marvel, Marvel concept cover, Devil Dinosaur and Moon Girl. I like it. James Gurney, that's it, Lucas. Thank you. Whoa. Let's just add in some of these darker shadows just to bring, now that I'm going, it's a bit naughty. I'm going a little bit too deep with the rendering here, but this gives me a good idea or where it could go. Even doing a bit of this. I see Loish doing this actually. She'll like grab like a shape and just go bam. All right. Now we've got that there. Let's play around with this character, the foreground lady. Now, there's got to be a lot of color balance in this. This is looking a bit skew-if. Now, Duncan, I'm not sure if it was you, or was it Super Trooper? I can't remember. There's a way to iterate. We did it with the lumberjack one, maybe, where it was like you mess around with this slider and you do all like weird stuff with it to give different variations. I'm not sure if it was you or not, so forgive me if I'm getting you mixed up. But was it like gradient map? Ooh, we could do like a, what is it, like a noir film? It's all like weird and stuff. Color lookup, that's it. Where do I get that again? Is it in here? Color lookup, that's the one. Yeah, so it's all these ones, right? Ooh. Crisp, warm, horror blue. Image adjust, color lookup, yep. Kodak Fuji. Yeah, okay, I can just play around with this forever. I do like the muted as well, and then maybe have their colors pop a little bit more. I'm not entirely sure. But let's just go all the way up. I mean, that just pumps the colors up a little bit. Oh, I can do that. Sick, legend. Select one and go up and down. No, it doesn't do that. Doesn't want to work for me. If you just select one and then press up or down, you can scroll them quicker. They don't update. That's annoying. Whoa. Futuristic bleak. Futuristic bleak. Yeah, that does look cool. And then maybe we can like knock it back a little bit. Because it would be cool as well to give this like a actual photo taken look. That could be cool. That could be cool. All right, let's play around with her color quickly. Keyword quickly. Don't want to get caught up. Let's just add the skin color. Very, very quickly. Just like. Wrong. Ah, saturation color. Okay, now she's multicolored. Ay. This is not what I want. Excuse me. Oh, because I've gone back to saturation. Okay. Yeah, we'll just grab that color and we'll adjust it in a moment. All right, let's adjust that. Oh, Lucas. Yes. I like that. As if she's written it, like it's a photo that she's gotten. Like it's in her collection. I like that a lot, actually. And maybe if this ever becomes a print, it could be like, and like where it was and stuff. Sick. Very good idea. So I'll just do an indication of like, hello. And like the date. Yeah, I like that. That adds a lot of story. A Space Rooster, welcome. Alright, I've got to head off in maybe say like half hour. We're going to go get some resin for Plain Jane. Maybe it's going to be lighting like screen or something. Yeah, that'll do. Maybe do like a khaki colored pant. Maybe, I don't know. So this is what I'm talking about with like being a little different, say like with the prints. Maybe this is a whole storyline. Maybe there's like a collection of like her travels. Of like, yep, almost died here. Don't know if I like that color. Yeah, I'll just go with that for now. And go the boots. Yeah, we've got to be strategic with how we make her pop, particularly with the background, you know. So I might just do that. I hope this is interesting. I'm having fun. She's got a backpack. Blissful, have a welcome song. It's not a terrible idea. Oh dear. Welcome. Hey Ben, it's cold in the city, but the female character is in summer fashion. I think it's the colors, yeah. Duncan, do you get any YouTube revenue from the live streams? Bugger all, except for donations. I think of YouTube as not even a thought revenue-wise. It takes a lot of pressure off from like the content, and yeah, mainly just the content. But I get a little bit. It's not nothing, but it's not like I couldn't do it if this is all I did. If I was just like focused on live streams. Yeah, that could change in the future, but just thinking about 1000 and the amount of effort he goes into with his videos. Yeah, I think for me, thinking about YouTube as like an acquisition channel. Oh no, my music, we're on the last one. It's a great acquisition channel, like getting people into, I'm on stream, getting people into the ecosystem of my stuff, you know. And he sells prints, he's got his Patreon and that kind of stuff as well. So thinking about it more along those lines, I think is not a terrible idea, particularly if you're thinking about getting into it yourself. And like running it like a bunch of experiments. Okay, this looks really weird. Just give me a sec, give me a sec. Oh, he also, yeah, definitely. He also has a team behind. But I mean, I think he started from scratch as well, just like himself. So that's kind of the North Star. That kind of thing. Is eventually getting a team behind me as well. But I'd like to do it in a way where it's not just like all about me and my stuff. If that makes any sense whatsoever. Let's go, because it's on saturation. Now I'm getting way too finicky with this, so let's stop ourselves. Let's block in some of the shadow shapes. So this is, maybe I just do a whole lot over the top of her. Of like this blue whole thing, boom. Something about that I like. So it's going to be a harsh like side lighting. So we could just go through and erase for the time being. So something like this, potentially. I don't hate, I don't love, but I don't hate it. Now, there seems to be a bit of an issue here. Come on, Photoshop. Just work with me. Work with me. Okay. We're losing a lot of our detail here. Like it could, if we're not careful, well, not her detail, like the read, let's say, of her versus the background. Like even if we look at it from afar, it's like a little bit, and I think it's a lot of it has to do with the background. So we can either darken the background up or like lighten it a lot. Let's go. There, let's try levels. Duncan. Yeah, I reckon you could do it if it's something that you're interested in. The balance is, yeah, the time between client work and, yeah, trying to figure all that sort of stuff out. 1000 meets Proco. That kind of vibe. Oh, left and right. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, nice. Good looking out. All right. So left and right. It's not doing it. Oh, well. That's okay. I'll just keep layering stuff on. What's posterize? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Man, that made that look cool. Like super poppy colors. I could also do this more of like a line work vibe to it. Avery, great to have you. You're not late. You're not on time, but you're not. It depends. This is recorded. Doesn't matter. We could do this more like a line work vibe, right? So as I was saying before, I wanted to play around with the more comic booky kind of line work, even like some halftones in there. But actually, like that's how I would make these characters stick out from the background potentially. Maybe, maybe not, who knows. So a lot of it with this is, how does it read from afar? If it reads from afar, then we're golden. If it doesn't, then we're screwed. I mean, this has a potential to be the first print that I run. The cool thing is with having your own printer is that I can just do that. I could just even do small scale at this stage. And test it all out. So this could really like, it's got like a necklace or something. I think it gives it a little bit more movement. Or she has like a hat that's like swaying in the wind as she's running. We did want to add mech stuff to it, didn't we? So we could do a bit of that. We can experiment. Lucas, I appreciate it, Avery. The Tessa, welcome. It's an Epson Shore Color P700, I believe. But it has the ability to do Grecke level prints, which was a big thing for me. So how's that feeling from just like a, Yeah, look, the background, we can work with that and spend our time to really mess around with it. Even lightening up this blue, I think, would help a lot. This stream's been a very more on the exploratory side, which I hope was somewhat interesting. Clouds, that's what I wanted to add to it. But we could use them as a tool to guide the eye maybe. I think it would be very easy to make this too messy. Yeah, Duncan, I have. Let me show you. Come with me. Oh God, this place is a mess. Where is it? Where is it? Is it in there? No, not in there. Here we are. So I've got to play around with the settings a little bit, but it's like the quality on that is just fucking great. So yeah, it's like I went for the one with the most color to test it out on, and a lot of it actually has to do with the paper. So this is like photo paper, right? It's like a matte, really nice sort of photo paper. This is just your regular printer paper, right? You put them next to each other. You look at more stop fucking moving around, hold on. Let's get it centered. So you can see, that's a normal printer paper. That's the shit that you just get from Officeworks. Versus that, the vibrancy, focus. Yeah, the vibrancy on that versus that is like night and day in person. So yeah, very, very excited to get some prints going. Yep. I like the sky framing ahead. Very, very good idea. Just get me back in focus. Camera on you back. There we go. Yeah, I think so. I think so, but I want to be like, probably to a fault. I do want to be pretty strategic with what I go out with. But I love the idea of, yeah, framing her head with the sky. Good stuff. So maybe we get rid of that there. Jeez, this music sounds like I'm in the gym. Ah, thank you, Blissful. But yeah, it's crazy when you're looking at it up close. Just the quality difference with the paper that you get. And this one can run like archival papers and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, there's many an experiment to be had. So this makes it a lot clearer. Very good call, Duncan. Bloody fantastic. Which this gives us more room to play. So like even with the clouds. Maybe, I don't know. See, there's opportunities everywhere. Just got to find them. Like maybe this. One thing with the clouds as well, I've got to remember that there's perspective with these clouds. So smaller clouds. We're going to be looking up at them as well because it's like quite low, the angle. So we could do like really like cartoony-esque clouds where you actually see the bottoms of them. Something like that, if we wanted to, I don't know if I want to though. But it's something we could do. But it's gonna, I would like to keep them that kind of orangey color because it's like sunsetty. And then let's do something with the clouds, so it's, that would be more blue actually, on the blue side. That could feel a little bit distracting, so maybe we, now I'm getting way into the weeds here, really don't need to do this. But I'm going to. It's color balance, no. Where's like the contrast? There's like a contrast thing here. Vibrance, color balance, photo, channel lookup, blah, 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 blah. Brightness and contrast. But I only want it within, that's all right, I'm gonna manually do it. So you get those blue bits, a little less contrasty. Whoa. I need to start practicing my signature. I do. Something that I've been working on as well, screen printing. And block printing as well. Focus. 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 So I've been messing around like with this as well. Didn't work out fantastic, but for messing around with it, it was a cool little experiment. I think I'm on the precipice of biting off too much than I can handle, to be perfectly honest with you. But I'm having fun with it. I've just got to start releasing things soon. Now what I can do, let's just merge this whole bloody thing down. Let's just go bam, bam. So now we can play with the colors as a whole. Now what was it again? It was a lookup, color lookup. I mean, there's something nice and vibrant about that. It really gives that sort of daylight vibe, but it's a little bit too daylighty. So what I might do is go selective color, and then in the lights, bump up the magenta and the yellows. Maybe, I don't know. In theory. And maybe in the neutrals, bump up the magenta as well and the yellows to show that more sort of golden houry. Or we just go crazy with the colors and like really poppy and just like bam, shabang. I mean, there's something cool about that. I'd have to figure out how to make it work. But I've also got to think about how I want to incorporate some of this. Oh, look at that, that's beautiful. Like some of this kind of vibe to it. Just a real like contrast between the lights and the darks. I don't hate that. Because this, you take this away, look how dull it looks, right? And then bam. There's a vibe to that I like. I don't hate that. Would you say you're a perfectionist? If so, that is a real curse. I would say I'm a recovering perfectionist. If you think of the perfectionism stuff like logically, right? One, nothing's ever going to be perfect, obviously. Perfection is going to be up to in the eyes of the beholder, right? And two, let's say you're a perfectionist and you've been a perfectionist your whole life. And let's say like 10 years ago you're a perfectionist and then you did something that you were really happy with. 10 years later, you look back at that thing and you'll be like, oh, I could do so much better. That's not perfection. That's garbage now. Now I know how to do it better. That cycle is going to continue. So even though that you think that you're like perfecting something or like you're getting it to a certain level that you're happy with at this point in time, that goalpost is always moving. So that's what I'm always thinking about now. Instead of like, oh, I've got to get this just right. It's like, oh, in like 10 years time or even like a year's time or 6 months time, I'm gonna be like, oh, it's garbage. Could have done so much better with that. So there's no real point. You're kind of just shooting yourself in the foot. Easier said than done though, because yeah, I do have a tendency, as I said, I'm recovering perfectionist, because otherwise nothing will ever get done. If that makes sense at all. I'm rambling a little bit. The digital S traditional, I'm starting to think I'm a traditionalist, which kind of hurts my heart. The digital, are you saying versus traditional? Why does it hurt your heart? Why not have both? That's cool. I want to do way more traditional. I mean, I bought like a whole bunch of oil stuff the other day, which I haven't had time to play around with. But that's definitely something I want to play with. Because then you've got like digital purists as well. They're like, oh no, you use like layer modes, you use the color lookup. Ugh, you didn't paint it yourself. That shit never ends. This kind of looks like the cover for something. I don't know what, but I like it. Once again, thank you all a ton for popping in, for hanging out with me. For exploring this idea. Oh, she does have gloves, doesn't she? So that could actually be a challenge, is to paint this traditionally. That'd be cool. Do you have a method you plan to do with oil painting? A method? Not really. Like, I've looked up some basic kind of, not rules, but ideas. Is like the dark, like you want your, I mean, just like everything, there's no rules. It's like you want your darker colors to be thinner versus your lighter colors. Putting the darks first, potentially. I've seen a lot of people do that, so that might be not a terrible idea. But yeah, and going blocky with it to begin with, because I think with oils, because I have done oils in the past, a long time ago. Like I did, I was playing around with some gouache the other day, focus, and doing that kind of blocky-ish kind of like really blocking the paint bits and pieces at a time, you know? and like doing little test pieces like this sphere. This is gouache, which is hard as frick to understand how to do. But I think I could even do this in gouache maybe. It kind of, the poppy colors lends itself to it. Alla prima or a more indirect approach, glazing over and underpainting. Maybe I like alla prima. I think that works for me, like just putting things down. Similar, I could imagine doing this like this sort of stuff alla prima. Just like bam, 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 bam. Like I'm patient in some things and not so patient in others. What mech? All right, I'm gonna be back in 2 seconds. CGI, how you doing? I'll be back in 2 seconds. I'm gonna try and add a mech element to her for maybe the last like 20 minutes as we wind down, because I've gotta grab that resin for Plain Jane, and we'll do the old promo stuff back in 5, back in 2. Okay. Microphone. Go take this microphone. Okay. Okay. So as we wind down, let's talk business, shall we? How can I help you? So, beneblin.com. If you want to support us, go check out the website beneblin.com, where I've got my stylized character tutorial available right now. Links in all the descriptions. 8 hours, 10 chapters. You got videos. You also have 3D models to study from, and you've also got a 40-page field guide. So I've sort of written a PDF for you to sort of follow along with the video. So there is that, if this is something you'd like to dive deeper into. Number 2, Filthy plugin. We've used a lot of that today. You can grab that on the website as well. Autofill Z shapes. I'm literally using it right now. Bam, bam, bam. Makes my life a hell of a lot easier in Photoshop. Go check that out. I'll just add the link in the chat, and we'll hang out for another 15 odd minutes. What else? Make now, think later. If you like content, the business side of everything that I do. Make Now Think Later podcast. Me and my good friend Francis we are really into this stuff, figuring this out, making it a living. So if you are interested in sort of the day-to-day struggles, real numbers, ideas, what's coming up in the future, that sort of stuff, and if you're a content creator yourself and this interests you, go check that out. And I've got one more sneaky link for you, and then we'll get into doing a 10 to 15 more minutes of drawing. Let me just get this link up. Plain Jane. So you can get this for you guys on Instagram. Links in my bio. Be the first to know when the pre-orders drop for Plain Jane. So for those of you that don't know, oh, I'm blurry as anything. Focus, thank you. She is coming along very well. So, whoop. Got the base, you got her, you got the plain side, you've got the fancy detailed side. It's also going to come with a real life sketch note, zine, I guess you could call it. How to study her, and not just studying her, right? So I've got like tips and tricks for studying different lighting scenarios, but also how to use her for different characters as well, right? So it's not just how to draw just her, it's using her as a tool to sort of create some cool stuff. And I'm still iterating this, but you'll get a special edition, only the people that have Plain Jane. Can you even hear me? I hope you can hear me. Only the people that have Plain Jane are going to get this print with it as well. And it comes in, it will be a nice box, but I'm designing this at the moment, and you get some stickers and stuff as well. So lots still to iterate with the packaging, but we're getting there. You can follow that link to be let know about the first lot of pre-orders. So that's all the promo stuff out the way, I believe. There's a little look at the Plain Jane sticker. This is going to be cool. This has been fun to make. All right, mechs. Actually, let's get back to CGI because I know you asked something. Can you show your favorite pens? They haven't changed. Benny Atkins, I see you on Instagram. I just looked over. If you happen to still be on. How you doing? Okay. Just going to answer CGI. Ben, can you please show your current favorite pens and their settings textures? I love your pen that you wrote back into and what you put on pixel resolution at 8-bit 16. I'm not sure about the bits or anything, but you can get that same pen, the long skinny line, on my Gumroad. Links in the description. That's literally it. Devi Animations, cannot wait to have her finished. You and me both. That's what I'm heading off to do straight after this stream, is to get a whole bunch of resin for the bases and the plain Jane herself. So last 10-15 minutes, let's figure out what mech stuff, because I'd like to actually, thinking about it now, tie her into that sort of mech world that I had going on with my last post here. And I love how just crap this view is on Instagram here, but you get the idea. So this kind of deal. No. So maybe this bag, let's just do it with shapes. Let's not worry about line work. Maybe she's got like a little portable thing. Like a little portable sort of jetpacky kind of thing. To get her out of this situation. Does she have anything else? I mean, that's a simple one, right? It's like, okay, cool, she got a jetpack. Big whoop. CGI, do I have a 3D printer? I don't. My parents do. That I pop over. And a lot of the prototyping of the base was done with 3D printing. But she's, plain Jane isn't a 3D printed thing. She was, actually I've got the original. Sculpt out of clay. That's like ruined now because of the molding process. But this is the original sculpt. Two wrong when the. My apologies for butchering your name. There should be a little README on the download on how to add it. On how to add the plugin. There definitely is, because I put it there. And maybe this section. Maybe there's like, she's about to lift off or something. That adds in another level of like, oh shit, I like that. I'm digging that a lot. All right, so maybe there's two of them, one in the back. Like the rocket thrusters. Tried it, but it didn't work. Okay. Flick us a message through the email on Gumroad, and I'll see if we can help you out. It should work. It works on the latest version of Photoshop. If you restart Photoshop as well, could I mean, I know that's annoying to hear if you have done it already, so my apologies. But it could be just one of those things to just restart Photoshop if you've only just put it in. Maybe this has to have a larger strap here, because it'd be a pretty big thing to just be carrying. There's like a backpack. What else? What else? Maybe this can add shadow actually on the paper, which could be cool. So it's just bringing a little bit out of the page. This could be a candidate for the first print that I bring out. Who knows? Rachel the Strong. The colors of this reminds me of a local artist called Renee Wiley that does a lot of blocky, stylized, impressionistic oil landscapes. Not sure if it's your vibe, but could sparks it, definitely. Let's have a look. Renee Wiley. Renee? Oh, come on. Wiley. Fine art. Is this the one? Let's Drav. How you doing? Hi Ben, what's your live stream setup? Sorry about the random question. Don't be sorry at all. Yeah, I can see that. Ooh, I love it. Good call, Rachel. Yep, sparks a lot of things. See, if I was going to do oils, this is sort of the stuff I'd love to do, but with my sort of take on it, with the characters and that kind of thing. Yeah, I love that. Particularly, and I see a lot of artists do this, and I want to kind of bring this into my own work, is like the underpainting. You can see like the underpainting of like that orange through all the cool colors. That's really, really nice. My live stream setup is I'm using OBS, and I've got a MacBook Pro M1 Max. I've got a studio display in front of me that I'm drawing on. I've got a tablet, and it's just OBS with the vertical plugin to shoot to Instagram as well, if that helps out at all, if that makes any sense. That's wicked, Rachel. Thank you for that, because yeah, this is very much down my, or up my alley. So let's just play. Now I'm just playing around. Finding my hotkeys aren't working with me today. I'm not entirely sure why. Little tip with hair, flyaway hairs save the day a lot of the time for me. Breaks up the silhouette. Adds an extra level of interest, I guess you could say. No worries, let's Trav. Could open up a portal, yeah. I like that idea, but it's like, is the portal here? And is it like a whoa? Is it getting a little bit too much? In the sense of like things going on. But I do like the idea though. We can make this like feel very shiny. Come on. Come on. No, something's up. When I stream, it's like stuff just doesn't click as easily. Just going back to the filthy. That'll work. It's like they're both jumping in different universes, yeah? I can dig that. Duncan, how are you feeling about what you've achieved this stream? I'm feeling good. This has given me a great direction. This one was a little bit like, yeah. They're on an island, it's very Jurassic Parky. This, even with the composition and like how it's sort of positioned, even from a print perspective, from a social media post perspective, I'm very happy with it. Just had an idea. What if I want my little fella, this little guy, maybe he's like jumping, maybe he's like up here somewhere. So it's like multiples, it's like she's being hunted. I quite like that. Or maybe we use this as a composition tool to like point back to her, like the tail. Just something in the background. I don't want it to be super like noticeable necessarily, but if you're looking around, it's like, she's fucked. But she's got a jetpack, so she'll be fine. Hey, it's moving without me. Save before it all crashes. I feel like I hijacked it with my... No, not at all, not at all. You hijacked it in the best possible way. No, I'm liking this a lot. Cause see, like what, I'm not doing anything and it's spazzing out. All right. What I could do if we were gonna be let's save that. Picture frame, and we can see if we can mock it up on a wall. Picture frame on wall. To see how it would look. All right, I'm just going to grab this just for demonstration purposes. Shout outs to, who is this? AD Art, thank you, just for 2 seconds. To go here. Ugh. I join them all together. So we can imagine, now there's a cool little tool, what is it? Perspective something, Okay, so I've done that. Now what? No, there's another way to do it. What is it again? Miyoko to Ho, welcome. Ben Art skill going hard. Oh, I remember it was something, what was it? What was it? Edit. No, it's a filter. It is a filter. Vanishing point, that's it. So what I've got to do, I've got to copy that, come to here, filter, vanishing point, because I did this with the box. Go here, go here, and go here, then paste this. Check that out. And then we, hello. It's the perspective really isn't that bang on with this sometimes, but it's a good start at least. This is something I've got to start thinking about now, with different prints and all that fun stuff. Okay. So now you can kind of, oh, it looks janky as, but you get the idea. That's cool. Edit, transform, puppet warp, that could be better. That could probably be a lot better. Edit, puppet warp. Excuse me, what? Is this right? Go here. And you go here. No, I don't think this is gonna work. No. Don't, no. Maybe, there is definitely a better way. Perspective warp. So step 1 of 2, click and drag to define planes, snap 2 or more planes together. Okay. There's my plane. That's what I want. What's step 2? Perspective warp. There, and there. Okay, now what do I do? Do I... Okay. Maybe I've got to do it on the piece itself first. We're learning on the fly. Here, and here. Then we go warp. Put you here. So there's a few different ways to go about this. That's annoying because it's underneath, but let's see. Probably wouldn't be that warped, but then we can maybe do like a overlay so it looks more like it's sitting in, or like multiplier. Maybe overlay, so it's got a bit of that glare of the whatever. Yeah, cool. Yep, I like. Just a cool little mock-up. Use transform with, I think, control on. Time to look up a YouTube tutorial? Yeah, potentially. If I wasn't on stream, I probably would. I just don't want to waste everyone's time. Edit distort. Okay, I'm going to try this again. I'm going to try this again because it doesn't look quite right. Let's bring it down to around about that. Distort, is that what we're after? That could be it. Look, there we go. The simplest answer is sometimes the best. Yep, now it's too bright. Cool. Now if we wanted to see it the other way. Yeah, sick. Kind of not the vibe, like in the space that I would probably put it, but you know, I'd probably take a photo of my setup. I like. I'm also thinking from a print perspective, an idea of like all the key like fundamental art things that I'm always thinking about, and doing them as like small little prints where you could like put up in your room all the time. So you're always looking at it like a light with like different characters and stuff, like lighting fundamentals, line weight fundamentals, that kind of stuff as like a reminder. That's another thing I was thinking about. But yeah, cool. I am happy with that. Ashlyn finally made it to another live stream, and I'm just about to finish. I'm sorry. But appreciate you all popping in. Really means a lot. Couldn't be doing any of this without you guys, and it's a ton of fun. It's something I look forward to every week. Hope this was a bit of fun. Something a little bit different. Started off with this guy. This one's growing on me. Did this as a little warm up. Moved on to this illustration, testing out little thumbnails. Mind you, we only did 2, but it's the idea of prototyping. Prototyping the idea at a smaller scale, less risk, I guess, time-wise. And we just threw it here to see how it will look. And then it's going to be the fun of, all right, balancing this all out, finishing up the line work. Probably, I want to change the face a little bit. I want to push the shapes a little bit more. And yeah. And we even did a little bit of, like the last little bit, a little jetpack. I reckon that adds to it. I am one happy chappy. Now, I've got to go get some resin to make more of this little lady. So, with that being said, any last questions before we head off? I'm looking at Instagram and YouTube. Andre, I'm doing well. How you doing? Just about to head off. There's a little bit of a delay with chat, but yeah. Any last questions before we part ways? Oh, it's a good session. I was happy with this. No, not by the looks of it, unless it's delayed. No, my pleasure, Debbie. My pleasure. All right. Of course, Lucas, thank you for popping in. All right. Thanks again, everyone. I will see you in the next one. Toodaloo. Where's the end stream button? You just expect this now. I say I'm going, but I'm not really going. So I've got to figure out how to end this stuff. Okay, Instagram, bye-bye. But I can't end the live video. So I'm just going to end it on my end. I'm still here. Still here. Where's all my stuff gone? Still here. Hello? Where? How embarrassing. Still here.
Treat yourself to Jack's Cafe's
Still here. Still here. And now I'm gone. All right, catch ya.